Greetings folks, Dan here, and welcome back to another edition of Kaiju Showcase. Today we're going to be taking a look at my favorite Showa Gamera villain and my most favorite toy in my collection. As mentioned in one of my earlier videos I did not that long ago, we're going to be taking a look at the original Bandai Showa Gyaos. This toy was originally made by Bandai in 1990. It was the first toy, larger 8-inch scale, or in the standard size as most people prefer, Gamera villain done. He was originally released, as I said, in 1990 with the original Gamera, and apparently popular enough to continue the line because they eventually sold all the other villains from the Showa era. It's about 7.5 inches tall, give or take. I'll bring out Yardstick here because it's really good for that. You got to keep it away because Gamera would probably just eat Hydra anyway. But posability, I'm not even going to try. And if you're looking for posability, don't buy this toy. Go buy like a Rebel Tech or something, because the legs kind of move and the head kind of moves. I don't even think the head's really supposed to. Obviously, if you know anything about the character, the head shouldn't move. The legs they're really stiff on mine. It might just be mine. It's made of a hard vinyl. I don't want to force it, and they just kind of wiggle a little bit. So if you're looking for posability, just don't be expecting it from this toy. The detail's really good. Detail's great. It's in fact probably one of the best representations of the original Gyaos in just about any figure, and especially at this price point, even now and when the toy was originally released. And the paint is great. I love the paint. Now, I'm not 100% how show accurate that paint job is. I know he's kind of a brown color in a film or whatever, but it's been a long time since I've watched it, and it just looks good though. It has a really nice kind of older, not super vintage, but older toy look with the sprayed on silver on the claws and then the feet here. I think it looks great. It just looks phenomenal. As for production of this toy, it was made, again, this is the only time this was ever done in 8-inch, was 1990. It was released later on with practically the same mold. You've seen it in my unboxing videos if you've seen it. There was the Memorial Box Gamera, the Memorial Box version of Gyaos, I apologize. No idea where they got the idea for the color scheme, but it still looks neat anyway. We'll get more into that when and if I actually review that toy. But the mold's practically identical aside from it's shorter. It's more in the 6-inch size. That was released in '99. Other than that, Bandai has not really done another Gyaos in this size or even 6-inch since then. So you got two to pick from. Not a lot of choices. But I'll tell you one thing though, as most people probably know if they've seen that other video, if you want my honest opinion, you buy this toy. If you are any kind of Gyaos fan at all, even if you don't even really like Showa Gamera or any of those films, but you kind of like, some of you kind of like it, or you hate some of the movies but like some of the others, just buy this toy. Even if you hate the fucking movie he was in, Gyaos is awesome. He's the iconic Gamera bad guy, and it's really one of the greatest figures ever made for him, at least in my opinion. So, buy that toy. Now for probably the shortest history explanation I've ever done in a video. Maybe not, but pretty close to. Gyaos appeared in 1967 in Gamera vs. Gyaos. He practically came out of nowhere. His origins wasn't explained, which doesn't bother me. He likes to eat people and livestock and drink blood and get trapped on giant rotating bird feeders with blood in them. He can't turn his head because this is, I think, the most interesting part of the character. If you know anything about Gyaos, he shoots a little beam that's like a sound wave and cuts stuff up. His neck is actually supposed to be forked like a tuning fork, which I think is completely badass and so impractically idiotic that it's just awesome. But aside from that, that's the history you're going to get. He later appeared as stock footage in 1968 Gamera vs. Geras. He was stock footage in Gamera vs. Gyrion. He actually appeared as a color variation of Space Gyaos, which if I had that toy, if I had one of those toys, I would love to review it. And if Bandai ever released one in this variant, I wish they did. This size with that Space Gyaos variant would probably be my favorite Gamera toy or Gamera based toy of all time. But I don't have one of those. Maybe someday. But anyway, yeah. And then later in Super Monster Gamera, which was a total shit movie that was hardly anything. You could barely call that a movie if you ask me. But that was his history. If you want to know more on the character, either refer back to my KMR review of Gamera vs. Gyaos, the original film, or if you want to know more about the Heisei character, go watch Gamera Guardian of the Universe review I did. Also one of my KMR videos. I've talked about his history so many times that it's not worth mentioning. Most of you already know it. And if you're new, not trying to shun you away for not knowing, look at either one of those reviews or either check the film or wiki or something like that. Lastly, we're going to talk about price and availability. Now, availability should probably be pretty obvious. It's not going to be everywhere. You know, the toy's 22 years old. It's like almost as old as me. So, and I'm not everywhere. At least I hope I'm not. But I mean, really, I already said you practically have to buy this figure. Like, if you don't, I mean, what's wrong with you? You must have something wrong with you if you don't want this figure. Not really, I don't know. But anyway, pricing. This is the important thing. It's really not, really in theory, it shouldn't be that expensive. I would not pay more than $20 to $30 untagged. $30 to $40, $50 maybe if you really want it tagged, if it's just like in pristine condition. I see quite a few of them sometimes floating on the internet. There'll be a dry spell where there'll be none of them, and then there'll be one, two, or maybe quite a few of them. But it's hit or miss. It's an old toy from Japan, so, I mean, go fucking figure. It's not going to be everywhere, as I said. If you can find it and you have the money, just do yourself a favor and buy this toy. I guarantee this is going to be one you'll probably display over many other ones that exist. But that being said, I mean, I don't think I need to say any more about this toy. It's fucking epic. Buy it. If you don't got money, go beat somebody up and take it. By the way, don't really do that. But just, if you ever get a chance to buy this, don't substitute it for the 6-inch variation. Yeah, it looks practically identical, but it's just still not the same. It doesn't have the same charm or anything to it, if a toy can have that. But yeah, get this one. But we're going to wrap this up. I think I've told you to buy this toy enough already today. I just guess I should start including subliminal messages at this point. But thank you very much for watching. We'll have something else, you know, me and Vic will have some other stuff coming up here soon. So you guys take care.